Ellen's comeback is horrible. Wow. I remember I used to watch this lady, the Ellen DeGeneres show, bro. It was so funny. I used to jack it, bro. She used to get crazy. She used to really get crazy, bro. Like heavy, like crazy. You feel me? It was just a joy seeing her dance. You feel me? It made my day. You know, without further ado, we about to get right in this motherfucking video, bro. Like, comment, subscribe, please.
So it has been a very long time since we last talked about Ellen DeGeneres, and that's mainly because she had gone into hiding ever since she was basically the only person to be legitimately cancelled. Well, her and that one Eagles fan, that is. For those of you who don't remember, or weren't around back then to remember, for years Ellen was one of the most successful people in show business, dancing around Target, embarrassing unassuming stay-at-home mothers for her own sick amusement, taking selfies with creepers, and who could forget cuddling with P. Diddy? And despite all of this foolishness, universally, she did maintain a pretty good reputation, even receiving some sort of humanitarian award from Obama back when he was still president. On top of that, her show was insanely popular for over a decade,
Yeah, it was.
And by the end of it, she was making well over $50 million a year, with tons of sponsorships and other opportunities rolling in every single day. And keep in mind, guys, this is back when you could find an oddly shaped Cheeto and end up on that godforsaken couch. And people ate this shit up for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And she was essentially being forced down our throats for a very long time. But for Ellen, it wasn't always like this. She had to grind for years to become a successful stand-up comedian back in the late 80s and early 90s. And after being voted the funniest comedian in the country and making a few appearances on late night television, she would come out with her own self-titled sitcom that did very well. That wasn't until she revealed her sexuality both on the show and in real life.
Susan, I'm gay.
I mean, everybody, it's so obvious though. Like, it's obvious, bro. Come on.
And the ratings plummeted because the world was not socially ready for that during the 90s.
And then everybody got so sick of it, it got to the point where even Elton John, who I'd never met in my life, Elton John said, "We know you're gay, shut up and be funny." It's funny because all along, that was my biggest fear, is that it was going to get canceled. I never wanted to be an activist. I just wanted to entertain people. I just wanted to make people feel good.
So then she was outcasted, but slowly made her way back. And of course, she gets the speaking role for Dory in Finding Nemo, which was a massive hit.
Keep swimming, swimming.
No, that's her? I had no fucking clue. Yo, I had no clue, bruh. I didn't know that was Ellen.
Swimming.
And this leads to her getting her foot back into the entertainment door and eventually becoming a titan in daytime television. And so for years, her infamous catchphrase on her show that represented her entire brand was "be kind to one another," as people even referred to Ellen as the Queen of Nice, which of course turned out to be horrifically ironic in the end. In 2020, hundreds of stories went viral on social media describing Ellen as a bully both at work and in her personal life.
Damn.
Talks of a toxic work environment were at the forefront.
Bro, why is it always that the powerful the powerful people always get exposed, bro? I don't understand that shit.
Of these complaints, including racist undertones, intimidation, and even sexual misconduct from high-level employees, were all alleged against Ellen and this workplace that she had created. High-level employee...
Wait, hold on, whoa, let's go back to that. One ex-employee said a head writer and executive producer, Kevin Lehman, asked him if he could give him a hand job or perform oral sex in the bathroom at a company party in 2013. Another said they separately saw Lehman grab a production assistant's... That's crazy, bro.
That she had created. High-level employees, from producers to talent on the show, have all corroborated these allegations of a toxic work environment.
Were you surprised by the sheer number of responses that you got?
I actually was surprised by that, and especially the variety of different kinds of story that perpetuated all those rumors and kind of hearsay about, like, oh, Ellen is not quite as nice as she seems and she would appear.
Muscat won 2 daytime Emmys with the show. She was let go in 2004.
As a host, she's amazing as a host, but as a boss and someone who's behind the scenes running the show, she's a different person. She's not the person people see in front of the camera.
Yo, hey, come on, Ellen, why you capping, bro? Come on, my nigga. I see people put on your, bro, I'm telling you, people act so different when they get on camera, bro. This shit is fucking nuts. This shit is outrageous.
This environment, this toxic culture that she created in the office has been going on for 16 years.
While I am grateful for the opportunity it afforded me, I did experience and feel the toxicity of the environment, he writes on Instagram.
Allegedly, Ellen was sending people home if she didn't like how you smelled. People were not allowed to eat certain types of food while on set. There were stories of employees being terminated suddenly and without reason. Many employees were allegedly trained to not even make eye contact or expect to be acknowledged by Ellen.
A former Ellen staffer writes, I saw Ellen in the hallways every day and would say hello, and she never once said hello back. She wouldn't smile. She wouldn't even acknowledge me at all for 2 seasons.
And it sounds like she would go out of her way to publicly embarrass employees on a consistent basis. Basically, it seems like Ellen is one of those people who thinks she is better than others, and she wants to let them know it by acting like they are the dirt underneath her shoe if she deems you or your job is unimportant. Understand, guys, that these stories were not only coming from the workplace, but also from people who were dealing with Ellen in her everyday life. Like this bodyguard who frequently works with celebrities, who said that Ellen was the first and only who he had ever worked for to not even acknowledge his presence.
Damn.
And this waitress who claims that Ellen went out of her way to email her boss to try and get her fired over chipped nail polish.
She emailed the owner of the restaurant and complained about your chipped nail polish.
What?
And I was like, what?
Not only that, but also during her show, her audience...
She petty as a motherfucker for that, I ain't gonna lie. Damn. She petty as a motherfucker, bro. No cap.
Members who got to participate in her games and whatnot also had stories of her being an elitist douchebag.
You just expect a lot when you go to meet like your idol, and then when you get disappointed, it's like such a letdown. And they tell you, you know, you can't be smarter, funnier than Ellen. She's the comedian and the star, not you. Would only speak to the audience when the cameras were rolling. As soon as they turned the cameras off, she would not even acknowledge the audience. She would just sit on the couch, basically.
And even when she went over to Australia to do some shows over there, this is what a radio show host who was invited on had to say about his experience and how Ellen treated her staff.
Producers called us aside and said, now, Neil, no one's to talk to Ellen. So you don't talk to her, you don't approach her, you don't look at her. The people who worked with her walked on eggshells the whole time, and the whole thing was totally bizarre.
Bro, who the fuck she thinks she is, my nigga? Yo, Ellen, who the fuck do you think you are? Huh? Who the fuck do you think you are, Ellen? Let's be fucking for real now.
Like, we're there to do an interview with her to promote what she's doing, but you can't look at her? Like, someone get real.
And obviously, with her having this long-standing
like, I can't look at you, ho? The fuck? Like, you telling me I'm gonna get fired if I look at you? You can't even say hi? Bitch.
Reputation as this person who promoted nothing but positivity, people were shocked and outraged at this walking contradiction that Ellen had become. And at the time when she tried and failed to make a comeback, she also gave this half-assed apology letter where she tried to dump the blame on everyone else.
I'm just so sorry that it's come to this. I really don't know what to say other than this has gone on way, 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 way too long. People have gotten away with murder.
Basically said she had no idea that this is what life was like on set. Given just the nature of the show is that her employees should love coming to work, no question.
DeGeneres saying she wasn't perfect and realized that some leaders were not as sensitive to human beings as they should have been, adding that reading disturbing allegations about the atmosphere on the show was heartbreaking.
So when Ellen says she's not aware of this environment, you don't think that rings true?
It's a lie.
And this would become a running theme for Ellen not to take...
Yeah, see, she said it's a lie, like, bro, you're not about to bullshit us, Ellen. I know the real you.
Any true accountability for her downfalls. And then she also addressed the situation poorly on her show, basically saying that if these things were going on, that she had no idea about it, while those making the accusations made it sound like she was the ringleader.
How was everybody's summer? Good? Yeah? Mine was great. Being known as the Be Kind Lady is a tricky position to be in. So let me give you some advice out there. If anybody's thinking of changing their title or giving yourself a nickname, do not go with the Be Kind Lady.
And this shit somehow gets even more dystopian when you realize that this was the audience she was standing in front of. The show after that ran for 2 years, and it was essentially a corpse of itself. Forced laughter, forced kindness, and it was clear that Ellen was feeling the pressure while crying about the situation she put herself in. Ratings were at an all-time low, and old clips began to resurface that further shined a light on the downright douchebaggery that Ellen displayed during her interactions with various guests on her show over the years, only further adding to the cancellation of Ellen and her empire of a brand. And now guys, a whopping 4 years after she was thrown away like a wallet condom, Ellen is back with a stand-up special of all things.
What the fuck? Netflix? Oh, Netflix paid her the bag too, by the way, if you didn't know. Netflix, they paid niggas the bag, okay? And she's one of them.
And Grandma is holding no punches on this one when it comes to her quest for self-pity. It opens with the classic comedian in the green room shot as she seemingly reflects on her career. But this moment of reflection quickly turns bitter as poor Ellen is ironically painted as being hurt by the mean headlines. And I knew that we were in for a doozy as soon as she walked up the stairs and they showed various headlines from her cancellation era, and that apparently she was accused of going too far and being too gay. Yes, I'm serious.
Being accused of going too far, too gay.
As if that had absolutely anything to do with why people have a problem with her at this point. And that should have been the moment that we all should have known that she was going to play the victim here. I mean, seriously, you had 4 years to reflect, do therapy, ayahuasca in a dirt field with Aaron Rodgers and George Bush, and this is what you come up with? And then they directly address the elephant in the room, her cancellation.
Breaking news tonight. Is the Queen of Nice really the Queen of Mean?
Phony, hypocrite, liar.
I mean, with situations like this, it's almost gotten to the point where I truly believe that some people just lack the ability to take any sort of accountability. She even tries to foreshadow her eventual downfall with a quote from one of her older stand-up specials.
Years ago, I started ending my show by saying, be kind to one another. Here's the downside. I can never do anything unkind ever now.
This toxic workplace angle was the shit that I expected. Now this is when Ellen comes out and a sea of middle-aged white faces just go insane. I mean, I'm serious. I paused the video, I loaded it in 4K, and I didn't see a drop of melanin in the crowd. Or anyone under the age of 40.
Yeah, what the fuck?
40 for that matter. She starts out with Botox and face filler jokes, and parlays that into another joke about parallel parking.
I think we all care what people think. We can say we don't. We can pretend we don't care what people think, but all it takes is trying to parallel park in front of a crowded outdoor cafe. Spot looks big enough. You line it up the way you always do. You pull in, cut it a little too close. You're scraping the hubcap the entire way along the curb.
I'm sorry, but on a personal level...
Oh, that was funny. Like, there's no way people are really laughing at that, bro. I don't get it. Can somebody explain in the comments what the fuck is she talking about? Because I do not understand.
Grandma's parking lot adventures just aren't doing it for me. It has the same energy as a boomer trying to step into this century and learn to use an iPhone. She goes on about how she doesn't know how to use the basic functions of her car like her fucking windshield wipers, and how embarrassing it apparently is when she cannot turn them off.
Like, even if we just can't figure out how to turn our windshield wipers off, which to me is one of the most embarrassing things, is driving a car when it's not raining and the windshield wipers are going. And then you're trying to fiddle with it, trying to turn it off, and you don't know how to turn it off because it's always different. Sometimes it's on the end of the lever on the steering wheel. Sometimes there's a lever within the lever.
Ellen, just stop the bullshit. We know that you have absolutely no shame with your conniving ass. I mean, to be fair, she's always been a pretty clean comedian when it comes to her stand-up, and she's kind of cut from that same cloth as Jerry Seinfeld, which is really not my type of stand-up. Regardless, this whole thing is just not very enticing so far.
Don't get me started on the dashboard lights, too. The dashboard lights are not illuminated all the time, so when they are, it must mean something serious, right? But check engine, that's vague. I've checked it, it's there.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
I mean, you go away for almost 4 years, and this is what you come up with? With all the crazy shit that has taken place in the world, and we gotta hear about your inability to understand cars for 20 minutes?
I have never used my parking brake. I've never parked my car and thought, I want it more parked than this.
Now after this, she does jump right into the cancellation, which I really think was the whole purpose of the special and her tour in general.
All right, let me see what else I can tell you about that. It's been going on. Oh yeah, I got kicked out of show business. Yeah, because I'm mean. Yeah, you can't be mean and be in show business. No, they'll kick you out.
And then she kind of half cries about the fact that when she goes to a restaurant, people are just waiting for her to be a bitch or to do something mean.
That's OD, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Yo, that's OD, bro. People actually wait for that? There's no fucking way, but I gotta be a troll.
And how she's beyond sick of this mean queen label. And I will admit, some of the dialogue here is pretty funny. I do like this little part about her talking with the therapist about the cancellation.
At one point, my therapist said, Ellen, where do you get this idea that everyone hates you? And I said, well, New York Times, Washington Post.
She then talks about the ironic send-off phrase that she used to use, saying to be kind to one another, and that it would have been better if she said,
go fuck yourselves.
So Grandma's really living life on the edge here. I mean, the mask has slipped and she has started to admit her own intolerance for everyday people. And this is when the real deflection starts. Basically, she jokes that harmless pranks and games were the reason behind the toxic workplace allegations. She also claims that she never even wanted to be the boss, and that she wasn't in charge on the set of her shows. Which is a way different tune than what she was singing when she did her first show back after the drama.
I know that I'm in a position of privilege and power, and I realize that with that comes responsibility, and I take responsibility for what happens at my show. This is the Ellen DeGeneres Show. I am Ellen DeGeneres. My name is there. My name is there. My name is on underwear. I mean, it looked like I was the boss. The show was called Ellen, and everybody was wearing T-shirts that said Ellen, and there were buildings all over the Warner Brothers lot that said Ellen, but I don't think that meant that I should be in charge.
I mean, talk about a lazy-ass cop-out when people have gone on record to say that she was the main culprit in creating this environment where bully behavior ran rampant. She also tries to make the point that she got canceled because she is a woman.
Most women aren't raised with confidence.
Yeah, no. See, that's bullshit. Don't start that bullshit now. Just because you're a woman does not mean you're canceled because you're a fucking woman. No, that's bullshit. Okay? Don't bring that over here. You're just a mean person. Okay? The whole point of this is that you're a fucking mean person, bro. Okay, and you're not finding a better way to accept it. You're just trying to play victim, and that's fine. I don't watch you anyways, so I don't give a fuck. You feel me?
Confidence. We just aren't, and we're too self-conscious, which is why you rarely see a woman playing air guitar.
Look, Ellen, you didn't get canceled for being a woman. You got canceled for being a fraud. The physical comedy in general here is pretty bad, but hey, she is like 70 years old. She continues here to hammer down the point that she got canceled because she was too far against the grain.
Eventually they're going to kick me out a third time for being old, mean, old, and gay, the triple crown.
Oh, honestly, shit. That's OD. Mean, old, and gay? That's crazy.
Argue that she's become so famous because she was unapologetically gay at a time when it was not very common or accepted. And yes, at that time, she did take a huge chance and faced a lot of backlash for doing so, but it obviously made her a pioneer in the entertainment space, and really a gay icon forever. She then makes this weird illusion that she might be kind of autistic.
Someone did suggest that I get tested to see if I'm on the spectrum. Well, I am on the spectrum. We all are. It's a spectrum.
And then she claims that she has OCD, and she even...
Bro, how is these jokes funny, bro? Somebody please explain to me, bro. Please.
Says that she has ADD. I don't know. This whole special isn't actually the worst thing I've seen in recent times. That award goes to Joe Rogan's recent steaming pile of shit that he put out last month. But much like Joe, I think the main problem here is that it has been such a long time since Ellen has lived any sort of normal life, meaning most of the stuff that she says is just not very relatable to the average person. And her whole dialogue around to cancellation is really just a lot of deflection, and it's not even clever deflection at that. And this speech right here at the end just made me cringe on a whole nother level.
I'm happy not being a boss or a brand or a billboard, just a person, just a multifaceted person with different feelings and emotions, and I can be happy and sad and compassionate or frustrated. I have OCD and ADD. I'm honest, I'm generous, I'm sensitive and thoughtful, but I'm tough and I'm impatient and I'm demanding, I'm direct. I'm a strong woman.
Wow. So she basically just said everything that they said about her.
Playing the "I'm just like you" card is downright hilarious. Keep in mind, this is coming from a woman who allegedly demanded lower levels of her staff on her show not even make eye contact with her, and frequently treated the people she worked with like fucking peasants. I mean, to me, Ellen's always been on some weird Illuminati shit, and something tells me that she spent a lot of time with P. Diddy, if you know what I'm saying. Happy birthday, P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, Sean Combs, or as I call him, Cuddle McSnugglestuff. You don't need to know why. This group of kids had a dream to dance with Diddy. Today that dream came true. No matter what name you go by, you were always one of my favorite people to have on the show, Diddy. Thanks to my friend Diddy. You're always the life of the party. Apparently I have a history of not knowing which parties I've been invited to.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
At Diddy. Either way, they just give her a standing ovation while she watches on in all her glory. I mean, seriously, it lasts like a fucking minute. You know, it's almost like watching a kid get a participation trophy. Like, yes, we all know you actually sucked. She closes the show out by basically saying all of those people who thought that she was mean were basing it off of lies, and that only she knows the truth in her heart, and that she hopes that in the end people will remember her as someone who was loved by the masses. And this is where the show really wraps up. They do like 10 different rounds of applause for her in the last 5 minutes, and overall she just kind of paints herself as some sort of martyr, which is just hilarious. Overall, the special was fine, it was just really boring. And I thought that her playing the ignorant victim card was just a massive cop-out. Was this the worst stand-up special I've ever seen? Absolutely not. I mean, I've watched the Gringo Poppy.
Oh, he's dirt.
I just didn't really find this funny at all, but
that nigga was not funny at all.
Wasn't exactly, like, unbearable. And at the end of the day, Ellen's legacy will be that she was a pillar in the gay community, who in my opinion overstayed her welcome and bit off more than she can chew. But I want to know what you guys think about Ellen's comeback down below in the comments. I also want to thank you guys for watching today's video, dropping a like and subscribing. But as you guys know, it's been your boy the Tan Superman, and some other narcissist celebrities out here need to be covered, so I'm out. Peace!
Peace, my dog. Peace, my dog. I'm not gonna lie, though. I'm not gonna lie, though. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Shout out to my nigga Jamari, man. My boy always dropping a banker. And if you like the video, like, comment, subscribe, man. You know, but other than that, that was a banker fucking video. That was a good fucking video.